I have absolutely no notes on this topic. I'm speaking from my heart, from my experience, and a little bit of conscious use of anger. Yesterday I was in a comment in YouTube, I was told that this work is, that this is not this is not like health work. I don't know, I'm not a health practitioner. And I guess there can be a lot of confusion around what this work can look like. And I will say that there may be lots of cuddlers, pro cuddlers, that are not concerned about health, and pretty much it's just come and let me hold you and hug you. That might be all I want to do. And I don't know, maybe there's a way to keep this really superficial, where it's not, health work isn't happening. I don't know how to do that. I can't keep anything superficial in my life. Everything's got to go deep. And so this idea, and I have a couple of clients where I've actually done this many times, where because clients see me on a regular basis, because I don't do the superficial, I go deep, and we talk about what's happening inside and what's going on in the body, and people start getting really real, and they start telling me things that they haven't told anybody ever before, and they start feeling really safe. And maybe there's trauma, PTSD, maybe there's a childhood of abuse, or maybe there's this neglect, or just never having that kind of affection and touch. And let's remember, since this is Platonic, again, the dismay of that commenter on YouTube, this is not, it's not sexual. I mean, it doesn't need it to ever be. It often transports us back to a time when we experienced, or we thought we needed touch as children, when it wasn't sexual, when we weren't thinking that way. So it's a really easy way to go back there. And so once you go back to childhood, oh man, many of us are walking children in adult bodies, and lots of stuff comes up. And what I'm noticing today is how, as adults, when we have find this deep safety in another human being, and like, oh my gosh, I haven't had this ever, or I've always wanted this, or I wish that we could, whatever this is, this it's an attachment. Recently I had a client say that I'm addicting. Like, I get it. This deep attachment happens, and it's really tricky. In that moment, without some good training, harm can happen, potentially. And I just want to sit with that moment. Just imagine somebody who has had broken relationships, or just relationships haven't turned out the way they would have wanted, who had a childhood of neglect, maybe abuse, and they meet somebody like myself, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted this. I can't get enough of it. And in that moment, this is where it gets really deep. I'm not needing them, right? I'm not bringing any of my issues. I don't have any need for them to take care of me. Like, this is truly one-sided, and it's not balanced, and that's how it should be. And the word for this is like transference, right? If you are familiar with these kind of concepts. What needs to happen in that moment, as the practitioner, again, being at the highest level of care and thinking through where they're at, I need to make sure that they can understand the work we're doing, that it's not about me, and I put it back on them. And I tell them, and this is your opportunity to actually process the stuff you never got to process. Now is the time. Use our connection. Use your, going back into that childlike state. Use this to feel the sadness, to feel the fear. And then I know, oh my gosh, when you start pulling sadness up, there's anger. It's okay to be angry that these things should not have happened to you. it's okay to say, fuck my whomever, parents or like siblings or whatever, like this should have never happened in my life and I'm so fucking sad. Like that is the moment when I'm holding you and they squeeze me so tight. Like I can sense like they're like, please never let me go. And I'm like, you should have never been let go as a child. Someone should have been there. Feeling like this is it. Like we're doing it. Like, and so I can sense like sometimes the client will like, oh no, wait, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, no, this is why we're doing this work, to go there, to feel it, and to cry, right? Yeah, and if we allow ourselves to just, or to get angry, or to feel the things, to tell the story that we haven't been able to tell, that gets played out in all of our relationships till then. Otherwise, what ends up happening is the client makes me the object, like their savior, their rescuer. Those bad people over there, they did this bad thing, but you're here to rescue me and you're going to stay with me and by my side forever and you're never going to leave. And then all of this gets built on me, and that is an incredibly uncomfortable place to be. Like, that is not safe for me or for you. Like, there is harm right there, ready to happen. It can't be about me, but allow me to create this really safe place for us to do this together. For you. Again, if you go to a pro cuddler at any of the sites, you may not have the kind of practitioner that can really be in this stuff, right? If they haven't done the sadness work for themselves, or their anger work, or their fear, like a lot of practitioners that reach out to me, or the ones that who want to do the work, they're always in their fear of like, how do you make sure that nothing bad's gonna happen? How do you make sure that the client isn't gonna want to do anything? Like there's so much fear. That's on us. That's our work. I've never experienced fear. Like that's not mine. Mine is more around sadness and anger and creating boundaries. But really finding someone, if you're looking for that deeper work, finding someone who has done this kind of work for themselves, that done emotional processing for themselves, so that they can hold that space for you. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You can't go deep. I have a comment here from the live people, from Michelle Renee. She says, I had a moment with another practitioner the other day, so powerful and so quick to identify, as I've learned to be more in tune with my body. I mean, really, like, we're doing our work so that we can be available for you. And again, I don't know where else this can happen. I don't know. I mean, there are other trainings out there I'm sure you can go to, workshops, maybe with your counselor, therapist, you can get to those places. But I will say that touch does something extremely unique, and that it takes us, especially Platonic touch, it takes us, it's like an immediate transport to childhood, to the place before sexual awakening, right? It's a transport, boop, and then there, oh my gosh, all this stuff comes up from like infancy. And the other thing, like the client was saying, some things I don't know why I'm experiencing this, and that's because it's pre-verbal, it's pre-memory. Maybe it was when you were like 2 months old, or at your birth, or like even before you were born, or maybe this stuff is from the first year of your life. The body stores all of that. And so when we can experience that, embrace that maybe a mother or father could have given to an infant, and it wasn't there. As the adult, we're still carrying that loss. And I have a personal story around that myself. I'll share in another video, I guess. Anyway, that's all of it. There's a lot. Find a practitioner if you need this type of level of work, that one that can hold space for you to have the full expression of all of it. Wish the best for all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Love you all.